Let us start. So, Bible quiz 13 to 15 from Leviticus 11 to 18, correct? Good. How does a sowing seed, become unclean according to Leviticus 11 and verse 38?
When it is watered and then a dead animal falls on it.
Correct. Accepted. It's 10. It's 10. 10. It's 10 questions, right? No time. So we're not gonna use any time against unless it take too long. You understand? What criteria make insects clean for eating?
It has legs above its feet and it hops.
Legs above the feet and?
It hops.
Correct. What category of sea creatures are considered clean?
Ones with fins and scales.
Correct. How long after giving birth to a male child was a woman considered unclean?
7 days.
Correct. What offering is required for a woman's purification after the birth of a son?
Please repeat the question.
What offering is required for a woman's purification after the birth of a son?
A young lamb or a turtle dove or a young pigeon.
A young lamb or a turtle dove or a, what did you say? Or a pigeon?
Yes.
Did you say yellow pigeon?
Oh, young
A
pigeon.
young pigeon. You almost get it right, you know. I'm gonna give it to you. It's really a year-old lamb. You understand? A pigeon or a turtle dove. So because I got most of it right, I'm gonna give it to you. All right? Won't be too hard. Okay. According to Leviticus 13 and 2, what should a man do if he has a swelling, a scab, or a bright spot on his skin that may become a leprous sore?
He should go to the priest and be examined.
Correct. That should be 8 questions. 6. Okay. How did the priest diagnose a person with leprosy?
If there is a white hair in the plague and if the plague appears deeper than the skin.
All right, talking the mic.
If there is white hair in the plague and if the plague appears deeper than the skin of the flesh.
Correct. If the hair of a swelling did not turn white, what happened to the person? According to Leviticus 13 and 4.
Can you please repeat?
If the hair of a swelling did not turn white, what happened to the person? According to Leviticus 13 and 4.
be considered clean?
Incorrect. Final question. This is the 10th question. I've only got one wrong. So if you have 9 points now, 8 points rather. How is a person declared unclean in the case of a suspected leprous disease in the head or beard? Leviticus 13:29 to 30.
Can you please repeat?
How is a person declared unclean in the case of a suspected leprous disease in the head or beard?
For the beard is if a yellow hair appears, and for the head, if there's a reddish sore or swelling.
You're kind of sort of right, but not right enough. So, incorrect. That's your 10 questions. So you'd have gotten 8 out of the 10. Okay. We're going over to Southfield. How is a person declared unclean in the case of a suspected leprous disease in the head or beard?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. How is a person declared unclean in the case of a suspected leprous disease in the head or beard?
If there's a yellow thin hair and there's a whitish and reddish color in the skin of the flesh.
I'll give you the answer. That's correct. Let me read the response. In this case, a person is declared unclean if the suspected disease appears to be deeper than the skin and the hair within the sore is yellow and thin. So you actually gave them a little more than they did. They touch yellow, but you touch yellow and thin. So I'm going to give it to you. All right? Why were the Israelites instructed to observe the dietary laws according to Leviticus chapter 11? Give me 2 reasons. In summary.
To be set apart from the other nations and to be holy as God is holy.
Correct. I'll accept. While God generally prohibited the eating of flying, creeping things, Moses specifically listed 4 types of winged insects that the Israelites were allowed to eat, according to Leviticus 11:21 to 22. What were these 4 allowable insects?
Locust, cricket, grasshopper, beetle.
Okay. I have the word bald locust. Is it the same as cricket? I'll take it as such. Where did you get the word cricket from? Which version? Hmm? you have internet on your phone? Let's look on Leviticus 11, 21, 22 from the NIV version. Let's see the bald, if the bald, if the bald locust is the same as crickets. If it is, you get the point. If not, you won't get the point. So let's put Leviticus 20, Leviticus 20, Leviticus 11, 11 NIV. Let's see what comes up. Verse 21, 22. Let's see if it uses the word crickets. Yep. Of these you may eat, of any kind of locust, katydid, cricket, or grasshopper. So, on that basis. All right, but King James Version used the other words. King James Version said, locust, bald locust, beetle, and grasshopper. But NIV also put in the cricket in there, so accepted. All right. Should be the second question, right? Or the third question? After the birth of a female child, how many days shall a woman continue in the blood of her purification? According to Leviticus 12 and verse 5.
60 days or 66 days.
Correct. How long after a male child is born should he be circumcised according to Leviticus chapter 12?
On the 8th day.
Correct. How could a person with leprosy be distinguished from others?
A person with leprosy has unkept hair, their clothes are torn, they stay out of the camp, and when somebody comes near, they cry, unclean, unclean.
And
Correct.
have uncovered
And?
uncovered, no, covered upper lips.
I didn't hear that. And?
And they cover their upper lip.
Excellent. Okay. You can't be distracted at this time. Yeah. All right, so we have 4 more to go. What items are required for the cleansing of a leper?
Two clean living birds, hyssop, scarlet yarn, and cedar wood.
Correct. You got all of them. When the Lord puts a plague of a leprosy in a house in the land of Canaan, who must be told?
The priest.
Correct. Before the priest enters to inspect the leprous house, what must be done?
They're told to empty their houses or else they become unclean.
Correct. The house must be emptied. Should be the final question. Okay. If the plague returns after the stones have been replaced and the house scraped and plastered, what must be done?
The house must be demolished, and the things they used to build the house must be taken out of the place to the area where they have the leprous items, building materials.
I'm gonna give it to you. Let me tell you the exact wording. The house must be torn down, which is the same as demolished, and its stones, timber, and all the mortar shall be carried to an unclean place outside the city. So it's good when you say it as close to. But you basically summarized it, so all right. That should be number 10. Okay. So we have now concluded section 1. What are the scores?
The scores are Burn Savannah 8 points and Southfield 10 points.
All right. For this category, I'm going to give you each 5 questions, not 10, 5 for the second round. I don't want to run out of questions, so I won't give you that many for the second round. Burn Savannah, it's your time once more. Ready? Ready? Leviticus 14 concludes with statements about the laws of what?
Can you please repeat the question?
Leviticus 14 concludes with statements about which laws?
The laws of leprosy.
Correct. What 2 things should a person do if they touch the bed of a man who has a bodily discharge?
Wash their clothes and wash themselves.
Correct. What must be done with a wooden object if it's touched by a man or the man with a discharge?
It must be washed with water.
Correct. When a man is cleansed from his discharge, how many days was he to wait for cleansing?
7 days.
Correct. How many questions have we gone, Sister Jenny? One final question. Why does God command the Israelites to separate the clean from the unclean?
So that they may not defile themselves and be holy as he is holy.
I'm going to re-ask the question and give you a little more detail. Why does God command the Israelites to separate the clean from the unclean according to verse 31?
Please repeat the question.
No problem. Why does God command, or why did God command the Israelites to separate the clean from the unclean according to verse 31? And we're in chapter 15. Take your time.
so that the clean may remain clean.
Incorrect. That's the fifth question. All right. Passing the same question over to Southfield. Why did God command the Israelites to separate the unclean from the clean according to Leviticus 15 and 31?
Can you be more specific with the
Can I be more specific? Why did God command the Israelites to separate the clean from the unclean according to Leviticus 15 and verse 31? That's the most specific I can get. You can say pass, you know. But if you answer, you won't lose a point. If you get it wrong, you won't lose a point. Give it a go. Giving you 10 more seconds.
So that they would not defile themselves, because God wants them to be separated from other nations.
Same thing that they said, and I told them wrong. The answer is to prevent them from dying in their uncleanness. Let me read the text for you. Thus shall he separate the children of Israel from their uncleanness, that they die not in their uncleanness, when they defile my tabernacle which is among them. All right? So you both got it wrong. All right, moving on. On the 8th day, what offerings must a woman bring for her cleansing from a blood discharge?
a lamb for the burnt offering, and for the sin offering, a turtle dove or a young pigeon?
Incorrect. After which event did the Lord speak to Moses about the day of atonement, according to chapter 16 and verse 1?
Could you repeat the question, please?
After which event did the Lord speak to Moses about the day of atonement?
After the death of Aaron's two sons, Nadab and Abihu.
Very correct. What happens to the goat that is chosen by Lot for the Lord, according to verse 9?
Can you repeat the question?
What happens to the goat that is chosen by Lot for the Lord, according to Leviticus chapter 16 and verse 9? How many more?
would be used for sacrifice, so it would be killed.
Correct. Final question. Who was forbidden to be in the tent of meeting while Aaron entered to make atonement until he came out?
Repeat.
Who was forbidden to be in the tent of meeting while Aaron entered to make atonement until he came out?
The congregation.
Correct. As a final question, so we have completed section 2 and the point standing.
Burn Savannah, 4. 4 and Southfield 3, 3 points.
Okay. Does that sound correct to both of you? Okay, very well. What's the overall score now going into the final? So tally up the both rounds so everybody can know where they are. And in this third and final round, it's +2 for each correct answer and -2 for each incorrect answer. If you say pass, you lose no point. Okay?
Okay, for the 2 sections already done, Burn Savannah 12 points and Southfield 13 points.
I didn't hear that, what you heard. I was looking on something else. All right. We are going to resume with Burn Savannah. And it's 5 questions. Okay? +2 for correct answers, -2. If you say pass, you're good. Lose no point. All right. We're now in Leviticus chapter 17. Where were the children of Israel offering their sacrifices before they were instructed to bring them to the tabernacle?
Pass.
Why does the Lord, or did the Lord command that the Israelites bring their sacrifices to the priest at the entrance of the tent of meeting?
Can you please repeat the question?
Why did the Lord command that the Israelites bring their sacrifices to the priest at the entrance of the tent of meeting? Leviticus 17 and verse 5.
So that it may be offered as a peace offering.
Correct. What must a person do if they hunt and kill an animal or bird that may be eaten? According to verse 13.
Offer it at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Incorrect. True or false? An owl was among the unclean animals.
True.
Correct. True or false? The camel was considered a clean animal.
False.
Correct. Those are your 5 questions. So 3 correct, 1 pass, and 1 incorrect. Does that sound right to you? Good. Good. All right, Southfield. Where were the children of Israel offering their sacrifices before they were instructed to bring them to the tabernacle?
Pass.
Okay. What must a person do if they hunt and kill an animal or bird that may be eaten?
The hunter should drain out the blood of the animal and cover it with dust.
Correct. For what reason must a For what reason is the Israelites or were the Israelites commanded not to eat the blood of any creature?
Can you repeat the question?
For what reason were the Israelites commanded not to eat the blood of any creature?
The blood is the life of the flesh.
Correct. How many questions have I asked? 3? True or false? A lizard was among the creeping things considered clean.
False.
Correct. True or false? The pig was considered unclean because it did not chew the cud.
Repeat the question.
The pig or the swine was considered unclean because it did not chew the cud.
True.
Correct. And I think that's your 5 questions. Let's get the tally. So based on her record, 3 correct, 1 pass, and 1 incorrect. I don't remember them getting any incorrect. They never get none incorrect. How many you passed? I think it's only 1. So 4 correct and 1 pass. All right, so this category had a low turnout, only 2 churches. But I want to congratulate both of you. You demonstrate that you have studied. And beyond the quiz, the information should help you, especially when you're reading the New Testament, because the old was really pointing to the new. So you should be able to, as time goes by, make the connection as to the old and the new. And if you also, based on the reasoning, the rationale, why did God give these laws? Essentially to differentiate the people, distinguish them, right? Because the other nations were eating all these things, doing all these things, but God wanted to separate them even in the things that they ate and even how they dressed and how they sowed their fields, etc., etc. So it's more than just the competition, but we hope hope that you're learning beyond that. So based on that, we have a first and a second. Let me have Missionary Robinson share the scores.
So, in first place, we have Southfield with 21 points. And the Bird Savannah with 18 points.
Thank you very much. So both of you did very well. I congratulate you. Thank you very much. We're now moving over to the 10 to 12 category. You may come for your Bible quiz. Thank you very much. Well done. Let us go. Who spoke to Moses in Leviticus chapter 1?
God.
Correct. Where did God speak to Moses from?
Tabernacle of the congregation.
Correct. What kind of offering is described in Leviticus chapter 1?
Burnt offering.
Correct. What kind of animals could be used for burnt offerings?
Pass.
What kind of animal was required for the burnt offering?
Sheep or goats.
Incorrect. Who helped with the offerings?
Pass.
Where were the offerings placed?
On the altar.
Correct. What did the priest do with the blood of the animal?
Sprinkled it around about the altar.
Correct. What burnt the offering?
Repeat.
What burnt the offering?
Fire.
Correct. What did the burnt offering become to God?
Pass.
Which birds could be offered?
Turtle dove or young pigeons.
Correct. What part of the bird was burnt on the altar?
Crop and the feathers.
Let's verify that. Moving on. What was removed from the bird before burning?
Pass.
Okay. Time. What part of the bird could be, what part of the bird was burnt on the altar? All right, so we're going to give you that point. You said the question was, what part of the bird was burnt on the altar? And you said they?
Crop and feathers.
Those were burnt on the altar. So now verify that. Let me read what the Bible says. And the priest shall bring it. So, all right, let me back up. And if the burnt sacrifice for his offering to the Lord be of the fowls, then he shall bring his offering of turtle doves or young pigeons. And the priest shall bring it unto the altar, wring off his head, and burn it on the altar. And the blood thereof shall be wrung out at the side of the altar, and he shall pluck away his crop with his feathers, and cast it beside the altar. So, what was burnt on the altar? Was it the crop and the feathers? Based on what I read? So those were thrown aside. So it was actually the bird itself after the crop and the feathers were, right? So the answer is incorrect. Okay? Thank you. All right, so we're moving over now to Southfield's 2 minutes speed section. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Why were burnt offerings given?
To transfer the sins of the person to the animal and to be burnt. Thank you.
All right, we'll consult for that. Who received God's instructions?
Moses,
Correct. Who were the instructions for?
Aaron and his sons,
Incorrect. Was the whole animal burned?
yes.
Correct. What was removed before the burning of the bull?
Repeat.
What was removed before the burning of the bull?
Pass.
What parts of the animal were washed?
Pass.
Who arranged the pieces on the altar?
The priest.
Correct. What did the people show by giving offerings to the Lord?
Appreciation to God.
We'll consult on that one also. What did the offerings bring from God?
Repeat.
What did the offerings bring from God? Or produce from God? Pass. What word means giving something to God?
Repeat.
What word means giving something to God?
Offering.
Correct. What kinds of animals were chosen as offerings?
Repeat.
What kinds of animals were chosen as offerings to God?
Pass.
Time. All right, so there are two questions I wanted to consult on. This is 22. All right, so what did the people show by giving offerings? Answer, obedience. You said appreciation.
Yes.
All right, the next one that we said we're going to consult on. Why were the burnt offerings given? Was that the question? Was that the first question I gave? Yeah, man, this should be the question. Why were the burnt offerings given? So the answer I have here is to worship God and to be forgiven. What answer did you give? Did I remember? Okay. So we're going to move on. All right. So we're moving over to Palmetto pen. What kind of offering is described in Leviticus chapter 2?
A burnt offering.
Incorrect. What was the main ingredient of the grain offering? You can say passing or is it time you're working with?
Pass.
Okay. What was poured on the flour?
Oil.
Oil? Yeah, speak in the mic, please.
Oil.
Correct. What sweet spice was added?
Fragrance.
No, you have to be very specific. What's the name of the spice that was offered?
Fragrance.
Okay, incorrect. Moving on. Who took a handful of flour, oil, and frankincense?
The preacher.
Incorrect.
Preacher.
What part was burnt on the altar? It's a team, you know. You can help him. Who took a handful of what part was burnt on the altar?
Burnt body.
What is it? Speak in the mic, please. You can say pass, you know, you're working with time.
Pass.
Thank you. Time is up. All right, let us give you the point standing at the end of round 1.
Okay, for Catadupa we have 7, for Southfield 4, and for Palmetto Pen 1.
Okay, we're going to resume with Katadupo. What sweet spices were added? Oh, so this is 5 questions. Yeah, should have been 10, but we're cutting it to 5 in interest of time. So each of you will get 5. Each church will get 5 questions. No. Is it? Is round 2 where? Oh. So in round 2, it's +2, and for each incorrect answer is -2. Is it? Okay. Let me just consult the rules. So, accumulation challenge, each team will get 10. In this instance, we'll do 5. 2 points for each correct, -2 for each incorrect. Okay. And if you say pass, you lose no point. Thank you very much, sir. You're more I am, and I'm a long time when I read it. All right, here we go. What part of the burnt? I need to make sure I have the context. So we're now in Leviticus chapter 2. Leviticus chapter 2. What part was burnt on the altar?
Repeat.
What part was burnt on the altar?
Pass.
What did the grain offering become to God? Okay. Who ate the rest of the grain offering?
Aaron's and his sons.
Correct. What kind of bread could be offered?
Pass.
Final question. What shape could the bread be? I'm going to scrap that question. I don't like it. Don't like what's worded or the answer. How could the bread be prepared?
Will you repeat that question, please?
How could the bread be prepared?
Alright, being baked in the oven.
Correct. That's the 5 questions for them. Thank you. Your 5 questions now, Southfield. And we're in Leviticus chapter 2. What sweet spice was offered?
Frankincense.
Correct. What part was burnt on the altar?
Pass.
Okay. What did the grain offering become to God?
A sweet savor.
Correct. What other way apart from baked in an oven could the bread be cooked?
Can you repeat?
What other way could the bread be cooked other from being baked in an oven?
Fried in a frying pan.
Correct. A frying pan. How many questions left? 1. What else could be used to cook it?
A wooden fire.
A wooden fire. Just a moment. Okay. All right, so we're going to give the answer. So we're giving it to you as correct. Okay? All right. How many questions have gone? That's 5. Okay, we're now going over to Palmetto Pen. Are you ready, Palmetto Pen? Okay. What was poured on the bread? And we're still in chapter 2. You can consult. Pass. Talk up in the mic, no son.
Pass.
Yes, man. Thank you. What was done to the bread before offering?
It was baked.
I'm going to scrap that question. It's a little bit vague. Sorry about that. I don't like that question. Was the leaven allowed in the grain offering?
No.
Correct. Was honey allowed in the grain offering?
Yes.
Incorrect. How many questions have we gone? All right, good. What special offering could include leaven?
The grain offering.
Incorrect. Final question. What had to be added to every grain offering?
11.
Incorrect.
11.
So the process, then put a one here beside the pan. So hold on there now. 5 flat plate or griddle. Ah. Yeah, we work with it. What is okay. All right, so Southfield, the question you answered by using the word wooden pan. What did you say? You said a wood fire. All right, so we did a little research, and we're not finding the wood fire. It's the pan or the griddle. The pan, the flat plate, or the griddle. Right, so we're not going to take the wooden. Right? Right, we're not going to take that one. So we're adjusting the mark accordingly. All right, so have we covered all the 3 churches? Thank you very much. We're now moving to the third and final phase. And we want to give you the scores before we do that. And we also just will reiterate that it's +2 for each correct answer, -2 for each incorrect answer. You're free to say pass. Can't wait for that one, not you? Yes, please. So we're going to give you the score so you can know where you are.
So for Catadupa, we have 11 points. For Southfield, 10 points. And for Palmetto Pen, 3 points.
Clap them, clap them, clap them. Encourage them, they're working hard. So we're back with Catadupa. Are you ready? So just want to remind you for the final time, it's +2 for each correct, -2 for each incorrect, and you can say pass. All right? No points are deducted if you say pass. Were the Israelites allowed to eat fat?
False.
Correct. Were the Israelites allowed to eat blood?
False.
No, it's yes or no. It's not true or false. So I'll still take it as no. You say false, take it as no. But it's not true or false, right? How long was the law about the fat and blood to last?
Repeat.
How long was the law about fat and blood to last?
Pass.
Okay. The offering, true or false now? The offering in Leviticus 2 is called the grain offering.
Repeat.
The offering in Leviticus 2 is called the grain offering.
False.
Incorrect. The main ingredient for the grain offering was fine flour. True or false?
Repeat.
The main ingredient was fine flour.
True.
That is correct. You have gotten your 5 questions, Katadupo? Now over to Southfield. Are you ready? What type of offering is described in Leviticus chapter 3?
Peace offering.
Correct. Which animals could be offered?
Like type of animals.
Which animals could be offered as peace offerings?
Pass.
Okay. Could the animal be male or female?
Yes.
Correct. Okay. We're now back to Leviticus chapter 2. Oil was poured, and true or false, oil was poured on the fine flour.
True.
Correct. True or false, frankincense was added to the grain offering.
True.
That's your 5 questions. We're now going over to Palmetto Pen for your five questions. Are you ready, Palmetto Pen? Are you ready, Madam Recorder? Okay. We're now in Leviticus chapter 4. What type of offering was described in Leviticus chapter 4?
Pass.
What was the purpose of the sin offering?
Pass.
Who had to offer a bull if he sinned?
Repeat.
Who had to offer a bull if he sinned?
Pass.
Okay. Let me give you the answers. So Leviticus 4 is about the sin offering. The purpose was to atone for unintentional sins. Who had to offer the bull if he sinned? The high priest. We're now going back to chapter 2. Maybe you'll be more comfortable there. True or false? The rest of the grain offering was eaten by the priests.
True.
Correct. The grain offering was a sweet aroma to God.
True.
Correct. I think we have covered your 5 questions. And I think they've done very well. Let's give them a big round of applause, everyone, for their hard work in preparation and their confidence in delivery. And so now we're going to have the scores be tallied and communicated to us. If you have any queries before we announce, you're free to do so. Go ahead. Query. If you have any queries. Read the competition. So we're all good? Very well.
Okay, for Catadupa, we have 15 points. Give them a round of applause. For Palmetto Pen, we have 7 points. Come on, cheer them. Well done, young men. And for Southfield, we have 18 points.
So I want to congratulate all the contestants. As I said before, you're studying these scriptures is not just for quiz. The information should stay with you for the rest of your life and should also inform you as to your walk with the Lord. God bless you as we now break for dinner and preparation for night service, and the choir will also be rehearsing at this time. Thank you very much.